Okay, so to help us understand that better, we want to look at it this way. Here is a farmer, and this is from Mark chapter 4, verse 1 to 9 and 26 to 29. Here Jesus tells us about a farmer who enters a field. And as he enters this field is a place that has nothing happening on the field. Okay, so this farmer enters this field and he knows what to do. What does he do? He begins to sow a seed. And the scripture says he sows this seed generously. He sows both on rocky side, by the wayside, and he sowed even on good soil. So he sowed generously as he enters this field. And then what happens? He goes away trusting God, and as he goes away to sleep, something begins to happen in that field. Something begins to happen in that field. And what does he do with that? He comes back, he waters the seeds that are cropping up. He waters them, and when they bear fruit, he gathers them. He gathers them, and some, like the scripture says, 30-fold, 60-fold, and even 100-fold. So, what does he do? Because he's a wise farmer, he wants to invest again. He wants to invest again so that this whole cycle can do what? Can continue. There can be continuity. So what do we see here? Entry. That's the 4 fields and 5 parts. Now we see entry. He has a strategy to enter a community, to enter wherever he wants to do what? Sow the seed. That's the gospel. Do we see that there? The gospel. So he sows generously. He doesn't discriminate when he does this. He sows to everyone, shares to everyone. And what happens? You have people who begin to turn and believe. That's the work of the Holy Spirit. His job is to sow the seed. And what happens here? He waters them. What do you call that? Discipleship. That's discipleship going on here. And these disciples are gathered into what is identified as churches. So for this to carry on and continue, because he's a wise farmer, what does he want to do? He wants to invest into leadership. He wants to train people, invest into leadership so that they can do what? Carry on the whole work again. So that if he's a farmer, he wants to invest, he wants to save some so that he can sow again into the next planting field. So that's 4 fields and 5 parts. So I'd just like us to repeat this side to each other, just on your table here again. Let's take some time.
What is he asking us to do?
It's basically so you know it, everything on this course, you'll need to be able to teach someone else. This is what it's all about. So if you imagine you're teaching me this lesson, so we already know it.
You already know it, yes.
But so you imagine you're obviously explaining that to someone.
Yes.
So what this is, the 4 fields are.
Okay, I can do that. So I think I can anyway. So
He already went through that, didn't he, earlier?
yeah.
So
Entry is you're asking me to explain this, right? So entry is how you enter a particular mission community.
Yeah.
Right? And how do you enter it? That's the question actually. What is the answer to that question?
Well, I think was he explaining the 4 fields a little bit differently on the picture he was
First
saying?
of all, he went through as a farmer. Yeah, so the farmer goes into the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes in with a purpose. Yeah, his purpose is to prepare that field.
Yes, correct.
And then to sow seeds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
So
right.
that's so we're preparing the land
Prepare the land.
first.
So how do we do that?
So we prepare the land by prayer,
Okay.
praying over the people in the land, by ploughing it, taking out the rough soil. So we're praying for the rough soil in their hearts to be soft, so we can plant the seed. Yeah, and then we go into this preparation before we go into an area, and then also.
And it's the Lord sometimes that does that for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Lord actually prepares the field.
But we have to do it.
We have to go.
God won't do it unless we do it. He wants workers
He
to
tells
do
us to
that.
go,
So that's our
You know,
job.
sometimes you go to somewhere and you're thinking, it's like somebody's prepared this guy
Yeah,
just to
he
hear.
guides us and prepares us. But then we have to pray for the area. So as we walk into an area, we're praying for the souls. And then when you come in, you're sowing the seed. The gospel. So you'll see this in the scriptures that they're sowing the seed in certain parts of the scriptures. So that means the gospel is
It's the seed.
repent and
believe.
accept the kingdom, repent and believe and everything. And
Believe,
then
that's correct.
but you'll see it
unbelief is
preached obviously throughout the scriptures. That's when they're actually planting the seed, and then once they believe and they're baptized, then in the stories we'll see them following, don't they? They start to follow the disciples, or they start to follow Jesus.
And as the farmer does, he waters
the seed.
looks after the
So how does he water them? He waters them by Jesus would be telling them parables and talking about their
Teaching,
behaviour,
basically,
teaching
yeah.
them, and encouraging them,
pastoring
telling them well done, that is good
Yeah.
faith, and all these things. And that,
Some people,
and then you'll find them all gathering together
in church,
and they'll do things in houses together,
correct,
gathering
yeah.
together and praying, and he trains them in those areas. And then all of that is leadership. When he does these things with them, he's training them how to be leaders. So there's certain parts where he's
Yes.
training them how to
All of them is all
show other
leadership.
people.
That's powerful, because leadership ultimately is what's going to create a sustainable evangelism.
Well, because
The leaders lead the people and communities.
we're all meant to just multiply. So everybody who's accepted the gospel, all those seeds, if they accept the gospel, they're now going to be making disciples. And each one of those disciples is going to gather together to encourage each other. But then they're all going to go out and be leaders. So each one of those is going to lead and
each
make
one
a
of
new.
them starts again.
Yeah. So there's not certain people that are going to be leaders. We're all
Everyone's,
potentially
yeah,
leaders.
of course, every
and we
Christian
train
is,
everyone to,
every believer,
be a leader.
Amazing, yeah.
Because Jesus intended us all to multiply.
Yeah.
Jesus made us all like ambassadors.
Yes.
If we're all new creations and the old has gone
Amen.
and the new has come, we are all ambassadors now. We've all been given a ministry of
That's correct.
reconciliation.
That's correct.
So we're all meant to be those people, not just a few.
That's right.
So people don't know that, though, you see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex is doing a different drawing now.
We're often just comfortable just being in church and listening and not doing anything. Some people think that's how they're meant to be as well.
Okay, I'm going to pause this and I'll do